As we mentioned, aquariums will be allowed to reopen on Friday, which is exactly when the Texas State Aquarium is planning to open its doors again to the public. There are some important changes. Ticket sales will only be online, and attendance will be limited to support physical distancing. Floor graphics have been placed throughout the facility to ensure people remain at least 6 feet apart. Guests will also follow a one-way flow through the aquarium. All interactive touch displays, daily presentations, and the 4D theater will remain closed. And the HEB Splash Park, they say, will be open at 25% capacity. For ticket information, just log on to our website, KIIITV.com.